Hi folks, this is Jackie Bushman. Welcome to another edition of Easton's Vital Zone. The hunt we're getting ready to go look at is with Tink's Terry Rohm as he heads to North Dakota on a cold weather bow hunt. Let's go right to it. Old Terry's way up in a tree in North Dakota. This has been a few years back. It's right during the rut. These bucks like to come out of these willow thickets, you know, chasing does. And he's got a buck really coming right at him out of the willow thicket. And Terry's going to draw back, so that buck can't see him draw back. Now he's got to hold his bow a little bit. It's pretty chilly out there, and this buck's going to have to turn broadside before he can get a shot. Well, finally this buck starts turning broadside. He's getting ready to squeeze the shot off. This buck stops just for a second, but then continues his walk, and then Terry is going to have to grunt at him. Now, as you saw him grunt at him, this buck is on full alert. As you can tell, Terry's got his pin right there on the lower 1/3 of the whitetail. This buck has his right leg back, so that's the reason it looks like it's right on the point of his shoulder right there. If his right leg was been forward, it would have really looked like it's way behind his shoulder, but that's just the way this deer's got his right leg back. That's the aiming point. He's aiming at the lower 1/3 of this whitetail. If this buck does not jump the string, it is a perfect shot, lowering the vitals. If he jumps the string and drops a little bit, it is still a good shot, just a little higher in the organs. Now let's go look at the shot. As you can tell on the shot right there, this deer definitely jumps the string and drops a good bit. Terry looks like he's a little bit left of his aiming point, but let's do this. Let's put it in slow motion and see exactly where this arrow hits. You'll notice the arrow coming in from the left side right here, and look how much that deer drops down. He was already on alert from the grunt that Terry gave him, but it's a little bit left of where he was aiming. But let's do this. Let's go to the Easton 3D Vital Zone and see exactly where this arrow enters the vitals. You'll notice the arrow coming in from the left side right there. It's just a little bit left of where Terry was aiming, but still in the back side of the right lung, all the way through the liver, and passing all the way through the lower part of the left lung. This right here is definitely a fatal shot. All right, here's a few tips for you on this particular buck that Terry shot. First of all, they're hunting in the rut. They're basically hunting all day. These deer are on the move. They got a buck coming right to them, and I mean straight on to them. Terry waited till that buck kind of had his nose on the ground as he was trailing when he drew his bow back. The main reason he did that because he didn't want the buck to see him, and he didn't want to see the buck's eyes. So number one, he did a good job on getting his bow drawn back. This buck was coming straight at him, so he had to wait for him to turn broadside. That buck turned broadside, and Terry was just getting ready to release the shot, and that buck kind of scooted on him. So he had enough patience to know not to take a bad shot right there. He grunted at the deer, and when you notice, when he grunted at him, that deer was on full alert right there. And that's why you aim at the lower 1/3 of a whitetail. This buck was definitely on alert. The other thing is, if you'll notice where Terry put his pin, is that buck's front leg was back. So he put that pin right there on his shoulder. If that buck's front leg would have been up, it would look more like it was directly behind the shoulder. So pay attention when a buck stops, whether his front leg is up or back, and that will help you in your aiming point right there. All right, Terry made a great shot. It was a little bit far to the left, not too far, but about 3 or 4 inches. Still went through the vital zone, lungs, liver, and out the back lung. They did the cutaways. They waited 30 minutes, and they went to trail that buck, and he wasn't 50 or 60 yards right there. Well, I hope you picked up a few tips of another buck, part of the Easton Vital Zone.